Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at all of my Oxford Diecast Scania pump ladder fire engines that I have in my collection. I'm going to take a look at each one individually and then give my overall view thoughts on this collection. So with that being said, I'm going to begin this video. So the first one I want to take a look at up front that I have, I'm going to move some of these out of the way real quick. Take a look at each one from the first row. And as I'm getting it ready, just move these next few out of the way. And I'm going to start this. So I am going to be doing some close-ups of these, so there will be some camera movements, zooming in and out and probably moving it up closer. So bear with me. I think that's probably good right there. Hopefully that's good and this shows in the video. Yeah, no, I'll keep it zoomed in a little bit. So this one is from Surrey Fire and Rescue Service. This is a pretty nice one. I got this not too long ago. It's a pretty nice find. Not a whole lot of detailing on this one. Just right on up here it says Surrey Fire and Rescue Service. And then kind of see the cab area where it's got the yellow and red with the little checkered pattern colors, which is pretty nice. Right up here there's like a little crest or a symbol. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I'll just bring it up a little bit closer so you guys can see it. It says there's a little crest or symbol right there, so that's pretty nice. Zoom out for a second now. So now you've seen that side of the appliance. We're going to take a look around to this side. And as you can see at the front, it says Scania. I'll bring it up a little bit closer. You can see it written right there across the front, which is pretty nice. Putting it back up here. You got the light bar up here. Moving it back over. I like that it's white in the middle and it says fire right in the middle. That's what it says in small writing, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I'm going to turn it around to the side now. It's basically the same thing on this side as was the other side. You got Surrey Fire and Rescue Service written across the top right here. I'm going to tilt it to the side. You got like a little camera or some type of a light right here, which is pretty cool. And then you got two ladders on this one. You got a small one right here, and then you got this big one right here in the middle, and two light bars. Two lights, a blue light and a red light right here, which is pretty cool. Kind of the difference in this one is there's no other ladder right here on this side, which is a little bit different from a lot of the other appliances I have. But there is another one that I have where it has the big one right here in the middle, and I think there's another one on this side. So that'll be something to look for when I get to it. But this is a pretty cool one. So that'll be this one for the Surrey Fire and Rescue Service. The next one I have, this one is from Essex County Fire and Rescue Service. Even though it doesn't say it on there, that's a little bit different. That's where it's from. It just says Fire and Rescue right up here. And I like how it's got the checkered pattern colors going up and down from the cab to across the lockers. That's pretty cool. I think it gives it some detail to it. Makes it stand out. I'm going to show you an up close of the appliance. Right here it says South End, which is pretty cool. Real nice. And then you got the, it's like the badge or some type of a symbol right there, the crest right there on the door, which is pretty cool. Also too, while looking at it, there's one blue light right back here at the back, right where my finger's at. So that's pretty cool that that's there. You also got the camera on this side, which is a little bit different. So that's pretty cool. White and black camera, the light. Also, while taking a look at it too, this is the other appliance I was just talking about. You see it's got the small ladder right here on this side, and then you got the big one in the middle, but there's no ladder on this side. That is a little bit different, but it's pretty cool. So it's a little unusual, but I still think it's pretty cool. It's basically the same detailing on this side, fire and rescue service, and then you got the badge, the crest symbol right there, south end, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna turn it around to the front. Instead of saying Scania, it just says fire rescue, which is pretty cool. I'll bring it up closer so you guys can see it. Hopefully this turns out well. Fire rescue right there. So that's pretty cool. A little bit different than saying Scania. Got a clear light bar on the top, which is pretty cool. A little bit different from some of the other ones. That's a pretty nice one. You can see it from right there. So that'll be it for the one from Essex, which is pretty cool. This one is from Kent Fire and Rescue Service, and this is a pretty nice one. Really like the detailing on this one. I like the checkered pattern colors going up and down the sides all the way through. It also has the badge or the symbol right here, the crest. Bring it up a little bit closer to you guys. Right there. Not sure what that is. Got the symbol. Pretty nice. Turn it around. Gonna zoom in just a bit here. It says Scania written across the front of it. I'll probably bring the camera up a little bit closer so you guys get a good look at it. Scania written right here, which is pretty nice. If you guys want me to take some pictures for a post to put on here, I'll definitely do that for you. Just drop that in the comments. You got a blue light bar on the top, which is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Gonna move back out just a little bit more. Zoom out just a notch or two. There we go. And turning it around to this side. Same detailing on this side, as you can see. With the checker pattern color, you also got the crest right here on the door, which is pretty cool. There is something really small written right here, 6006. So that's pretty cool. It's hard to see it because it's written really small, but it's there. That's pretty cool. Tilting the appliance to this side now. I'm going to try my best. You got the camera, that light right here on this side, the red thing, red and black thing right here, which is pretty cool. So that's there. Taking a look around the back of the appliance here, there's this one light right here, which is pretty cool. Kind of like the last one I just showed you, got the one blue light. It's got this light pole sticking up at the back, blue light. Small ladder right here, got another ladder over here, and then of course you got the big one in the middle, which is pretty cool. Nice that that's there. So that's a pretty nice one. This is a pretty cool one. I'm not too sure if Oxford is still running this one or not. You might want to check their website, but this was a really cool appliance. So that's a pretty nice one. Moving right along. This is one of the newest ones that I got in my collection not too long ago. This one is from South Wales. And as you can see right here, DECYMRU, South Wales. If you want, I'll zoom in. I don't know if it'll show up or not, but I can also bring the camera up a tad bit closer if you want. I don't know how well it'll show. I could try zooming all the way in. That might not work. If you guys want, I'll just make a post with some pictures of these vehicles if you want. Um, got the checkered pattern color going up and down from the front to the back, which is pretty cool. You got the crest or symbol right up here, which is pretty nice. Some small writing written on it. It's hard to see what it says, but it's pretty cool. Got some nice detailing on it. Turning it around to the front, see it says Scania right here written across the front. Zoom in. Hopefully it shows up in the video. That's Scania right here. And then you got the light bar at the top, and then it's the white part, it says in the middle, it says fire written in it, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. So it's an awesome one. And then turning the appliance, I have to zoom out real quick for a second. Maybe move the camera back a notch or two. It's pretty much the same detailing on this side of the fire engine, which is pretty cool. Same as the other. Makes it stand out. Really like the design and the deck, how all the detailing on it. Another thing too that's a little bit different about this appliance, as I kind of tilt it over, I'm gonna show it right here. Right where my finger is, I have this like looks like an orange light right here behind the light bar. That's pretty cool. I looked at my other appliances and they don't have this, so that's a little different. That's pretty cool. It has that little detail right there on it. And then as we're looking at it from the side, I'll move it over to this side now. Again, you have your camera or light right here, the red and white thing. I'll bring the camera in just a tad bit closer. I know that the light is shining on it a little much, and that makes it hard to see. But you got the camera, that light right here, which is pretty cool. So that's nice. Turning it around to this side now, you got the, you gotta take a look. You got a small ladder right here, a small one. Got this one, and then you got this one right here in the middle, which is pretty cool. So that's a pretty nice one. And this one is from the Oxford emergency range, and it's a really new one. They also have a Volvo pump ladder from South Wales, which is pretty cool, which I have that too in my collection. But I really like this Scania one. It's a pretty nice one. So this was really a great find when I got it. I'm glad it's in my collection. And it's pretty nice for one of the newest releases that they've made. And then this next one I have, this one is from Scotland. It's from Strathclyde Fire and Rescue. I'll try to zoom in a bit on it. Try to bring the camera in just a bit closer. I have to make some adjustments here real quick. So as you can see, I don't know how well the writing or detail will show up on it, but right here it says Strathclyde Fire and Rescue, which is pretty nice. A lot like the South Wales one, got the checkered pattern color going up and down all the way. Right here you got the crest or the little badge right here, fire symbol right there. Not exactly certain what that's called, but that's right there. That's that nice detail to it. A little bit of other detailing on it too. I think that's basically the same thing right there on the door. Gonna take a bit of a move back here for just a split second. Turn it around. So as you can see written here on the front of it, it says Scania right here, which is pretty cool. And then right up here, you got the blue light bar on top, which is pretty nice. You got this black part right here. I've noticed on my other appliances, and I didn't point this out on the last view that I just showed, but some of them have these where it looks, not exactly certain what this part is called. On this one, it's a black one, and it looks like you've got maybe 2 extra lights in the middle right there. on top, right between where my finger is. So that's pretty cool that it has that feature, and also the same on those other ones. So that's pretty nice. That's a cool one. Basically, it's the same detailing on this side as it does the other side, which is pretty cool and pretty nice. Also, I meant to show from the other side of the appliance. On this side, you've got your that lighter camera right here, this red and black thing, which is pretty cool. So that's right there. And then you got a small ladder right here. You got this big one right here in the middle, this big old thing, and then this ladder right here, which is pretty nice. So it's pretty cool that it has that as well. And this one is from Strathclyde, Scotland. So and this was a pretty cool one. Now I'm going to show another one that I have from Scotland, and this one is from Grampian. A lot different from the Strathclyde one. This one is a white one. Not a whole lot of detailing on it. On the door it says preventing, protecting, and responding, which is pretty cool. It's got that stuff written there. Right up here it says Grampian Fire and Rescue Service, which is pretty cool. Really like that on there. And it's pretty much just a plain one on this one. Not a whole lot. Also, you got the badge or the crest right there in the middle, which is pretty nice. Really like that detail on it. And then I might have to bring the camera in a bit. So forgive me if the quality isn't good here. I'm doing my best. Hopefully this will show. I don't really want to focus too much with the stand on it, so hopefully. Right here in the window it says 962. I'm not exactly certain what that is, but that's what it shows right there in the window. I'm going to zoom out now just a little bit. It says Scania written across the front of it right here, which is pretty nice. I really like that detailing. Blue light bar on top, same as the Strathclyde one, which is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Might just zoom back a little bit for a second while we continue to look. I'll zoom in. So it's pretty much the same thing on this side, preventing, protecting, and responding. It's just written going this way. Got the crest and symbol right there, Grampian Fire and Rescue, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna zoom out. I do apologize for all the zooming in and out and all the camera movements. Just wanted to show some up close detail. You see right here, it's got the camera, that the light right here, this black thing, which is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. So that's there. Turning it around, you got the small ladder here. You got another one on this side, and then of course you always have the big one right there in the middle, which is pretty nice. So that's cool that that's there. That's a pretty nice one. So a little bit different from some of the other ones that you've seen so far. I do know that Oxford had a man pump ladder version of this one. Unfortunately, I never got it, but I'll definitely keep my eyes open if it, even though it's sold out. If I come across it somewhere like eBay or something, I'll be sure to get that and do a review of that one. But for right now, or for now, this is the only one that I have from Grampian, but that's pretty cool. This next one is from Cleveland, and this is a pretty nice appliance. Definitely plain, not a whole lot to it. It says Fire and Rescue right up here, which is pretty cool. 009C3 right here is what it shows. And then right on the door it says Cleveland Fire Brigade, which is a little bit different because it should say Fire and Rescue Service. That's different. You got the badge or crest symbol right down here on the back door, which is pretty nice. So it's got that. Turning it around to the front, it says Fire Rescue written in reverse. And it's got a white front on it, which is a little bit different from some of the other appliances. That's pretty cool. You can also see the blue light bar right up here. I might have to zoom in real quick for a little bit. Hopefully that's good enough right there. You can see the blue light bar on top, which is pretty cool. So they have that. And turning it around to this side of the vehicle, it's basically the same detailing on the other side, which is pretty cool. Not a whole lot. That's pretty nice. I'm going to take a look a little more. Another difference that I noticed in this appliance, I'm going to zoom out for just a second. Moving it out. Right up here it says C3. None of my other appliances have writing like this on the tops of their cabs, so this one's a little bit different. So it's pretty cool to have that there. Not exactly certain what C3 stands for, but that's pretty cool. And then, as long as we're looking at the top part of the appliance, you got your camera or that light right here, which is pretty cool. Got this nice thing right here. It's a white one. Turning it around, you also see the ladders on all sides. Small one, got another one here. And then you got this big one, so that's pretty cool. Pretty nice. The next one is from Merseyside Fire and Rescue. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'll even bring it up closer to you guys so you can see it. I might have to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. So it says Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service written right here. I know it's hard to tell and see the writing, but I'll definitely probably try to make some posts for this one, but that's what it says right there, Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service. Putting the appliance down. 1357 is what it shows written right here. 1357. And then you got the crest right up here, which is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. And turning it around. Scania at the front, and then you got the blue lights at the top. And then real quick, there's like a little white part right in between the blue lights, right where my finger is. So that's pretty cool that it has that. It's pretty nice. And then I have a few other. They also made an aerial rescue pump of one from Merseyside, so I also have that in my collection too, which I've shown in a few of my vids. You might want to, I'll have to list where those are at, which one it is. Right here you got the, it's basically the same detailing on this side. I really like this yellow stripe that goes down the front, or on the doors, and then across the two lockers on the back. Which is pretty cool. Kind of makes it stand out a little more. Turning it up on this side, again, got that same thing, that camera light right here, white. It's pretty cool. Turning it around, you got the three ladders right there, the small one, this one. Or I'm not too sure. I heard in a video on the Norfolk Fire and Rescue that this thing is considered a trestle table or something that they use for vehicles, so I'm not too sure if it's really considered a ladder or not, but that's pretty cool. If that's what this thing is, that it's there, so that's pretty nice. So that's awesome. So that'll be it for the Merseyside one. Then I got this one not too long ago. This one is also from Merseyside, but this one is Lily the Pink. And it says Action on Cancer written across the lockers, which is pretty cool. A lot of detail to this one. Pretty nice. I really like the yellow on the doors right here. It's pretty cool. Makes it stand out. And then, of course, across the lockers right here, got the yellow stripe. And it says, "Be clear on cancer. We need to talk about cancer, and cancer doesn't discriminate." I believe that's what it says. Or it does not discriminate. So that's pretty cool that it has that stuff written across the lockers. Makes it stand out a lot more. It also got the crest, that symbol right here. So it's pretty cool that it shows that. And then got the light bar across the top with white in the middle. Well, there's two blue lights on both sides. Pretty nice. And you got Scania written right there. And it says www.actiononcancer.org. I believe that's what it says. It's definitely hard to see that right here on this black part, but there's some type of writing. I'll definitely have to make some posts for this one just for that to show up. So that'll be it for that one. Same detailing on this side. It's pretty cool. Not a lot. Tilting the appliance right now. You can see right there's the same tool I've been pointing out all along. This one's a white one, that light or camera right there. Got the small ladder here, got this other one, and got this big old thing right here. It's like a big ladder, or maybe it's something they use for something else, but that's right there, so that's pretty cool. So I like that one. It's pretty nice. And then the last one. This one was another great find. This one is from Humberside Fire and Rescue Service. www.humberside/fire.gov.uk, written right there. We'll zoom in just a bit. I don't know how well the detailing is going to show up, but this is a pretty nice one. I like the detail. Here it says, "Lest we forget." Lest we forget. It's pretty nicely detailed all across it. That's pretty nice. I like the pictures that are drawn on it. That's pretty cool. Gonna zoom out just a little bit for a second now. That says Scania written across the front right there, which is pretty cool. You got your blue light bar across the top. I really like how this looks like an orangish color, which is pretty cool. Like that look to it. It's pretty nice. And then the same detailing on this side too. It's pretty cool. Really like the way that it looks. It's pretty cool. And then zoom back just a little bit. Same thing. Got your camera or light right here. Pretty cool. It's in white. Taking a look around here to the back, you basically got the same thing with the ladders on top, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty nice. And with that being said, all of these are pretty cool. And now I'm going to give my overall view thoughts on the collection. So bear with me as I set everything back up. done. Hopefully that's getting all of them in there. Get some moves right here. And got everything pretty much just about set up. And now I'm gonna make another camera adjustment. This time I'm giving you a bit of a heads up. So probably move a couple of these back a little bit. So this right here is my entire collection of Oxford Diecast Scania pump bladder fire engines that I have. The only one that I did not get for my collection was the one from Shropshire. I did see that model, and I don't know, I like the checkered pattern colors more. I really just, I think those stand out more. I just didn't get it for the Shropshire one, just for my collection, just because I really didn't want it. But this right here is a pretty, otherwise, if I would have had that one, I would have had 11. But instead, I have 10. But I'm really satisfied with all of these, and I really like the different designs they have on them. I do really like the checkered pattern colors on most of them, like the ones, like these first four right here from Essex, South Wales, Kent, and Strathclyde. I really like those, the details with those. Um, but but some of the other ones too stand out, like the one from Humberside or the Merseyside Lily the Pink. Those ones stand out just because of the detail and design on them. But other than that, I really like the way that all of these look. This is a pretty nice collection of them. Uh, Other than the South Wales one, I don't think Oxford is. Uh, I'm not sure the status on all of these. Um, I know that the Strathclyde and Grampian ones are not being made anymore, and I don't think they're running the other ones unless they're running them in a smaller scale. But you might want to check Oxford's site just to see the status of those. So if you really like uh, their fire engines like these ones, if you come across them, I highly recommend getting them for your collection, as they're pretty nice. And if you're an enthusiast on collecting emergency vehicles like I am, then definitely you want to get these if you find them. And I think Oxford only runs them for a limited time, or they make so many. So, if you find them when they're being made, get them right then and there. If you are able to get any later on, should you come across them on eBay, then definitely get them for your collection. But this right here is a pretty nice one. I like all 10 of these, and they're pretty nice. And I just love Scania fire engines, especially the ones from England, as they're pretty nice looking. So this is a really great collection right here. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and favorite button. And if you want me to make some posts, pictures of these vehicles, I will do that. Just drop that in the comments. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please be sure you stay tuned for the next one.